We would be honored if you would join us.
Episode of the Silvercast, the first one for 2021, and we are joined by none other than the man Juice. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. How about yourself? How's everyone doing out there?
We had a blizzard out here, so we are literally chilling, you know. Yeah, but we're doing good, man. We're doing good. The
That's
new
great
year
to hear.
is it's getting started off, I think, on a good foot. How you doing today, Silver Conundrum?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Everything here is kind of chilly. You know me, we're back on 12-hour shifts, but whatever it takes.
The hardest working man I know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, please note the disclaimer that Expat Stacker and Silver Conundrum are not financial advisors or experts. Investing is risky and comes with the chance that you could lose money. So talk to a licensed professional before making any decisions about what to do with your money. This video and all of the contents on our channels is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. So in this episode, we're going to be talking to Juice. As usual, when we have a guest on, the first thing we're going to do is just get to know the guest a little better. I mean, you know, a lot of people are subscribed to Juice and know Juice. If you don't, then, hey, I don't know what you were doing with your life, but, you know, it happens, you know? Like, I mean, there's some channels that have, like, thousands and thousands of subscribers, and I just found them recently, so it happens. But if you don't know Juice, then you're in for a treat today. And if you do know Juice, then we hope to give you some more in-depth look at the man and get to know him a little better. And then after that, we're going to be talking about, in the second part of this episode, investment psychology. It's an interesting topic. If you watch Juice's content, then you know he talks about that like quite a bit. It's not, you know, at the forefront of what he's discussing, but it's definitely
it's
very
one of the most important things out there.
Yeah, definitely. So that's, you know, I'm very stoked to talk about that. And then for the last one, we're gonna kind of have a free for all, just open topic discussion. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Sure,
So
man. Shoot.
Yeah, like the first question I have is, how'd you get the name Juice?
You're not the only one that asked that. Well, my name in Spanish, if you mispronounce it in English, it's Juice. So I got that name back in middle school because, of course, I used to hang around with, you know, a certain crowd, not Hispanics, and they couldn't say my name. And then my mom or anyone, teachers that are Hispanic, anyone that was around me, they would say my name in Spanish, and then Juice just popped up. So I was always Little Juice, and then Juice Man, and then it ended in high school as Juice. So, I kept that name since middle school.
Oh, that is awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
dude. So now I think I gave away my first name already. A lot of people already caught on to it. So it's Hugo. My first name is Hugo. So
I was wondering if it had anything to do with that movie Juice, you know, but
well, if you see me in person, you would say otherwise. Let's see.
All right.
I like that movie though.
Yeah, that's a classic. So I guess like the next thing, you know, is I mean, everybody who watches your channels knows already, but like you do something that was, I think, missing actually from, you know, the stacking community, which was like technical analysis of charts,
Yeah.
and like, you know, actual reading of those from a principled standpoint. So like, how did you get into that, first of all?
Well, get into actually charting and trading, or getting into like the YouTube game and trying to figure out my niche. The
The
two
charting,
different things.
yeah, the charting and trading thing. I mean both, but like the first
Yeah,
one I'm interested in is the charting and the trading stuff. Like, how'd you
yeah.
learn how to do that, and like how'd you get into that?
So what happened with me is that I was always hustling when I was younger, always hustling something. I was always trying to find a quick buck, always trying to figure out a way. And then one of my dudes, one of my good friends, I saw him trading on a phone once, and I'm at work, and I'm like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing this. I'm trading this Citigroup. Never forget it, man. It was 9 years ago, 10 years ago. He's like, I'm trading Citigroup, and I'm like, I knew that was a bank and all this stuff. I knew about stocks too because I not not traded, but I gambled into some stem cell research companies and stuff like that back early 2008, and didn't really do anything much about that. But then this guy, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm doing this. I'm doing this on the side and this and that." And yeah, I'm using at the time it was Trade King is a broker that he had. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me try that out. So I put in $300. I never forget this. I put in $300 on a Tuesday, right?
Mhm.
No, wait a minute. It was Monday, and then it cleared on Wednesday. On Thursday, I did my first trade. I made from $300. I turned it into $3,000 on that Thursday, and then that Friday, I lost it all. So yeah. So then I was like, all right, there's potential. There's potential, but I need to learn charting and I need to learn because the kid knew about charting, but he was a newbie too. He was getting into it and he was a little aggressive and stuff like that. He got lucky too. So I was like, you know what? I need to do this like professionally. So I just went full throttle on books. Guys, I haven't read I didn't read anything during high school. I was one of those dudes where there was 180 days of school and I probably went 60 days out of the 180. So I was always I was not a school person. I read my first book after high school and it was a trading book. And then all of a sudden I just dove into it. I dove into candlestick charting. I dove into Steve Neeson's book. Steve Neeson is one of the dudes that transferred over from the Western technical analysis and brought it over. I just learned so I tried to just stick my brain in this world, and I just wanted to be addicted to it, and I got addicted to it. And then as I was doing that, I was, of course, recollecting some money and hustling and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to put a big chunk of money in here because everyone was like, oh, you trade on a demo account, trade on a demo account. But from the 2 or 3 days that I did the first trade, I already knew my emotions were running so high that with demo accounts, it's like playing with fake money. I mean, there's no emotion in it. So I was always winning, you know? And then I just dove my head into it. I read a whole bunch of books. Investopedia was my best friend when I didn't know any terminology with it. And then little by little, 9 years in the game, and now look at where I'm at today. So it's been a freaking roller coaster ride, I'll tell you that much. And one of the main things is I just had to learn the game before the game played me, basically.
Yeah, that's some good advice right there for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, honestly, when I got into this crap, I thought I was gonna be a millionaire. I was like, that's it. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna, live in Miami Beach and drinking mojitos and chilling with my wife, and that's it, doing my thing. But the harsh reality is that you got to learn the game before the game plays you. And the game was playing me for, like I tell everyone, I'm like, my first 4 years, I was just paying for tuition, kind of learning the game.
Yeah.
Um, and it's tough, but you gotta, if you like it and you want to do it, then you gotta eat it like anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, that's why they say that like if you're really passionate about something, then that's what you should pursue, not other stuff, that like other people tell you to pursue. Because like you said, like with anything else, there's going to be bumps and bruises and like,
Hmm.
difficult that you have to learn. So you're not gonna stick with it unless you really like are about it, you know. So and I mean, you talk about it like you got to learn how to play the game before it plays you. Like, so you've been in this for like almost a decade now. How
Mhm.
has it like changed, you know, since you first started? I mean, obviously you've learned a lot, so you see things differently. But have you
Yeah.
seen that the rules of the game or the players are changing at all?
I think the market is always changing because the market is its own organism, bro. I try to explain this on my chart videos, but it's just so difficult to teach it because I've been ingrained to just be a loner at it and just stay focused with it. I think my wife probably knows a lot about charting now, but I just been ingrained in it, and I think everything is all cyclical. Everything is its own organism, man. Like stocks, bonds, commodities, everything intertwines with each other. Like it's crazy to say that what I've seen now, I've seen it in 2011, 2010, which I have in certain circumstances. I just think the players in the game are playing the game on a leveraged position.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as the years go by, I've seen a lot of leverage in the market that one day will have repercussions. Now, I could say this now, but it could last another 20, 30 years like this. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I wouldn't be, I would be drinking mimosas at the beach. But I just think that there's a lot of leverage in the game now. I s- un unrealistic volume in the market. That's the only thing that's changed. But other than that, there's still winners and there's still losers. That's it. That's all the market brings. The market doesn't care about your emotions. The market doesn't care what you feel. The market doesn't care about any of that crap. The market is its own organism. That thing runs on itself. It's self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So it's from now to then, from then to now, the only thing that's changed is the amount of volume that's in the market, and that's because, of course, the money printing and the credit, basically, the
Right.
debt.
So does that ever worry you though, like the whole money printing thing? And let's say, for example, like even 10-year-old kids are talking about, oh, I want to invest in stock market, and they're like, whatever. Doesn't that ever worry you that things are bubbling up way too much too fast?
Of course, dude. But the only thing that's why I got into stacking. Um, I got into stacking precious metals because I noticed it myself. I was making money and I didn't see the money. I didn't see it. I was either spending it or I would see it in the bank account and then eat it. Maybe, something happened. I had to use a savings, things like that, like what every regular Joe goes through. And I've been pounding the table for years about it, to the point where my wife doesn't want to hear it anymore. but but she tells me all the time, she's like, you know what you're doing, and you know what you're doing for the family. So just keep doing what you're doing. But now that I'm in this YouTube game, that's why I'm trying to relay the message to everyone else. Um, no one knows when the time is gonna be here that everyone's gonna get head cracked. Uh, no one knows, and it might not ever happen yet. It might happen 20, 30 years down the line. But I will bet my house that my kids are gonna feel that. Not maybe not us, because maybe they'll pump the markets all the way to God knows when, but our kids and our kids might feel that, and that's what worries me. That's why I'm stacking.
Makes sense.
You know, it's
Yeah.
always in the back of my mind. When is this gonna explode? When is this gonna? That's it, done deal. But I mean, I trade to the upside too. I when I do trade, I trade to the upside. So because that's your trend. The trend is your friend, man. You gotta play it. But do I keep all my money in stocks? No, man, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a few guests on now at this point, and like I think a lot of them have relayed the same message. It's like you can make money trading and in the stock market and stuff with these types of investment vehicles and asset classes, but it's very unstable, and you don't really have control over it. And like you said, like the market is its own organism. And I mean, if you people who watch your videos would know that, because like you always say in your videos, like the market wants to do this or it wants to do that. Like you're referring to it as its own thing, right?
Yeah.
And like we're just kind of along for the ride. It's more about like it's almost like kind of like driving a vehicle. Like you have some control, but you don't really have control about like the other cars on the road or like the conditions or like anything else, you know? So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's like, and then the other thing too is that it's, you mentioned that all the different asset classes are connected, and like that's big like kind of uh like an ecosystem almost, you know, of all
Yeah.
these different financial assets. And so like how has investing in the stock market and learning how to read charts, and I know we'll talk about it in a second, but you've been into like cryptocurrencies as well. How has that helped you in terms of like the stacking aspect of it?
Well, when I started stacking, um, I was already playing the SLV and the GLD positions on a yearly contract options. And in the money contracts, they're a little expensive. But then I've always listened to, you know, the Peter Schiffs of the world, the you know, Jim Rickards of the world, the Jim Rogers of the world, and I've always listened to people. You know, I like to sit back and listen to what people have to say, but I never bought physical metal. So then I had a good run the beginning of the year on trading, and I told myself, well, I've been decent when it came to profits the past 4 years. So I was like, you know what, instead of me eating this crap, or instead of me buying BS with it, let me buy a piece of metal with it and see what that does to my psyche, to my thought process. Because my thought process is always make more money, make more money, make more money. Just compound the money, compound it. With this, as soon as I started stacking, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have to I don't have to stack the money. All I have to do is preserve the money. So it
Mhm.
kind of gave me that little switch of that psychological switch where I said, you know what, I came from trying to make a shitload of money to making money and keeping the money. Because it's easy to make money, you know, it's easy to make money. It's hard to keep it,
Simple.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's why it correlated to that stacking. And then as soon as I started stacking, I started seeing my savings, and most of the stuff that I do buy is from my trading. So I was like,
Mhm.
it's a win-win situation for me. It's all psychological, bro. It's all
Yeah.
psychological.
And like has looking at those different because you mentioned that they're all connected, has like learning how, for example, the strength of the US dollar, for example, learning how that correlates to precious metals, has that helped you to like maybe, you know, I mean nobody can time the market, but like has that helped you to make more sure decisions about when to like be more confident about time to pick up
Oh,
some silver or gold or
absolutely, absolutely. I bought my first gold piece February 18th. I'll
Mhm.
never forget it. I bought the Prospectus Golden Gem, those poured silver bars that I had. And the reason why I bought it was because the dollar was tipping the hundred handle.
Mhm.
And when I saw a dollar tipping the hundred handle, and I told myself, this shit, this shit shouldn't tip the hundred handle. I mean, there's no way in hell that with all the not necessarily money printing, but all the debt consolidation that they're trying to do, and money printing and X, Y, and Z and the economy and all this stuff that I just put everything together. I'm like, there's no way that the dollar's is strong. And then you compare it to the Chinese yuan, you compare it to the Swiss franc, you compare it to the euro. I told myself, eh, I don't like the way that things are going. And especially when I got into the game about 2010, 2011, the dollar was at 75 handle.
Mhm.
At the 75 handle, everything was crapping on the dollar. The dollar was worthless, bro. And then when I saw the 2014 run, I was playing that run, and 2014 was one of those years where I had you would say an epiphany of trading the SLV and trading I would trade it to the downside. But I just saw it. I just saw it. I put two and two together, and I said, you know what? Let me pull the trigger, guys, because I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that guy. So I just pulled the trigger on the metals in February, and then just so happens that I bought it in February. I found out about this whole beer flu the stuff, and then it ran up to I think 120 handle, and then just crapped out. So I was kind of early to the party, but I'm glad that I was early in the party.
Mm.
I think it went to 102 handle if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
On the dollar. So then that's it. It was over. I told myself that's it. I'm gonna have to try to see how I can save. And then of course over here in Miami, Florida, everybody and their mother was selling their property. I was talking to Silver Conundrum about this when we spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother was selling property. There was a lot of property that would just stand still. I saw grocery stores kind of, pumping up that price. And I just saw, I'm a realist when I think about stuff. My wife thinks I'm a pessimist, like just thinking negative all the time. But I'm a realist, I just see shit and I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out on the way down. Jump out of the airplane with the parachute, and I'll just try to pull the parachute on the way down.
Yeah. It's like Marshawn Lynch said about that action.
Yeah, dude, you got to do it like that. That's how I see it. I mean, that's why I got into the game in February. I wish I would have gotten in March. I was buying all through March. I was buying the whole thing all the way from February, March, April, June, and then I slowed down once I saw prices a little bit elevated, because I'm not dumb either. You gotta. I live by that phrase, keep it simple, stupid.
Mm.
That's how I live my life, bro. And the Mike Tyson phrase that I like. What was it called again? Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the
Yeah.
That's right.
I like the comment on the video where you said that, and like that phrase is like on a philosophical level, man, because it's like translated into other languages and people study it and stuff. Like people here in Korea who don't even speak English know that phrase, like that's how like valuable that is. It just puts everything in perspective. Like a plan is a plan, you know what I mean? But you got to be ready to adapt on a dime, because that's how life goes, man. That's how life goes, and it's volatile. So speaking of which, speaking of volatility, I know
Yes.
you've also done the crypto.
Oh Lord, yes.
So talk a little bit about that. Like, when did you get
Lord.
into that? What was your experience with that? I mean, I've heard it in your other videos about how you like tried to mine and stuff. But
Well,
let's hear about
yeah.
it.
Oh man, this is gonna probably hurt a lot of Bitcoin trollers out there, or hurt you guys too emotionally, because I went through the whole roller coaster ride. So I learned about Bitcoin 2016, right? When Bitcoin was around, I want to say $1,000, maybe.
Yeah.
1,000, 2,000. I'll put it to you this way: I bought my first Bitcoin in 2017, and I bought it for $3,500. All right. I didn't buy a whole Bitcoin because in 2017 I was still, trading and trying to figure shit out. But yeah, I got into it 2017. Every single paycheck I would throw in $200, $300 at him, right? And then I got into mining because I was making so much freaking money, because I did one pretty big deposit, and I bought Litecoin, I bought Ethereum, and I bought Bitcoin. And then I saw gains that I didn't see before. And I really thought that I was You ever heard that song, "We Made It"? That rap song, whatever. And we
Yeah.
made it. All right, so that's exactly how I felt. I was like, "We made it, baby girl. We made it." I told my wife, "I'm like, we made it. We made it." So, make a long story short, I made a whole bunch of money. I put $15,000 into mining rigs, ant miners, GPU systems, because my brother-in-law, he's the techie. So I called him up one day and I'm like, "Hey, look, man, I got this little thing going on. I got X amount. Um, let's make it happen. I know about this mining stuff." He's like, "What is it about?" I'm like, "Look, you can mine. There's these cryptocurrencies that they're proof of work. So proof of work means that you can mine stuff. There's proof of stake and there's proof of work. Like XRP, Ripple is proof of stake. Like some dude in a computer just put and said, "Hey, I want to do 1 billion ripples." Boom, and they put it out in the market, and then that's why Ripple's holding 50% of their stuff, because no one minds it. It doesn't take any energy to take it. It's just an algorithm that ditches out that. But Bitcoin, Litecoin, those are the main one that I was mining. They were proof of work where you had to have energy consumption to create the mathematical equation to create the Bitcoin. So I bought a whole bunch of ant miners from China. I bought GPUs from Nvidia, the top of the line GPUs. I bought a whole bunch of motherboards and all this other crap that I have no idea what the hell I bought. My brother-in-law was the one that was like, "Hey, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy that." Download Linux. I didn't even know what Linux was. I was just like, "Get everything, go, go." Yeah. So at one point, dude, we were making about not fully, because we always had little issues here and there, because my brother-in-law lives in Orlando and I've been in Miami. So there was a lot of little tech issues here and there, but not fully functional, not 100%. We were making about 100, $125, $150 a day. That's minus the electricity costs for the house, because I was paying. I knew I had to figure out how much I was paying on kilowatts. I was paying 11 cents per kilowatt, and just so happened that I was making about $125, $150 a day. That was late 2017. So we went through the whole run. I saw the 20,000. I had a bunch of freaking money in there that I did not cash out, and I took it all the way down, and I did not cash out. And then I had to stop mining, because it went from 175 a day to $100 a day to $50 a day to $25 a day to $13 a day. And then I was trying to figure out little how do you call it, the shit coins, the altcoins, trying to figure out different altcoins that I could mine, like Zencash, XVG, whatever, these little altcoins. And then that was giving me like about $25 a day. But then I started noticing, I'm like, I can't afford my electricity. I'm breaking even. So I shut the whole operation down, and I got stuck with $15,000 worth of equipment that I couldn't sell, because we were in a bear market already. The Bitcoin hit the $20,000 mark. It tried to pop again above the 10,000, 12,000, rejected it, and then it was that's it, game over. So yeah, I saw it went from like 6 digits to 5 digits, and I said, you know what, F this. I'm losing too much sleep on this crap. So I divided up the money. I told my brother-in-law, I'm like, "Hey, take half, because you helped me out, 50-50. It is what it is. You take half, I take half, and you do whatever you want your half, and I do whatever I want with my half. And then if we sell the mining rigs, we'll go half on that, and done deal." And then yeah, dude, I went through that whole ride. I remember 2018, the beginning of 20. That was 2018. It was August or September. I don't remember too well, but it was like January, because I remember crying, like literally crying, and I was like, "That's it, we made it, we made it."
Damn.
Yeah, that's it. And then all of a sudden, that's it. All right.
And then you were crying
When
again
it,
for
yeah, that Mike Tyson saying comes back. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, I got punched in the face big time. I'll tell you that much.
Did you end up selling all that mining equipment then?
Mm-mm. I sold the ant miners. We sold the ant miners. But I still have 13 GPUs sitting in my shed.
Yeah.
You don't use them still? Why not?
What's up?
Why don't you use them still?
Because the electricity costs to mine is just so expensive that it's not worth it to me.
Really? It's that? I didn't see. I've never done it before. I didn't realize there was just that much of a cost involved in it.
Oh yeah, when it comes to proof of work, it's a lot of cost because it takes a lot of energy to mine, especially Bitcoin. The altcoins are a little different because you could gamble on them. There's a lot of altcoins that are proof of work that you could kind of, if you have a lot of horsepower, you can go ahead and mine a lot of them. But it was just getting to the point where I was like, I don't see the profitability in this anymore, so I had to pull out. That's one of the things that I've learned from all my mistakes, man, is knowing when you're wrong. Go out, take it out. Let's go, cut your losses, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. And it sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. I still got the GPUs in my garage with a whole bunch of motherboards and shit.
Yeah.
This Bitcoin's been making a comeback. Have you thought about put your stuff back up for auction or resell it or even actually just reactivate it?
Yeah, I've thought about that, but it's not worth it anymore, because the people that are mining Bitcoin are in China, Alaska. They're using hydro farms. There's better, more efficient ways of generating energy instead of electricity. So the big guys always they're gonna win the game, and that's what's happening right now in the mining world. Is that the big hydro farms are winning? The people that are in Alaska, the people that are in China, those guys are winning the energy game. There's no way that I'm going to compete unless I don't pay for electricity, which I tried, but I failed. Big time.
Drop cord to your next door neighbor's house at nighttime?
Dude, I've done everything. I've even gone as far. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I think I said it in one of my videos, but it's the chart videos that no one ever watches. So I tried to find a trap house once. Well, I knew of a trap house that were doing some illegal activities in there, and I was like, "Hey, can I stick a mining rig in your garage?" And it worked. It worked for like a week or two until I had to pass by to kind of reset or do something. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should be here.
Yeah, dude. It probably would have got stolen anyways by one of the people in there.
No, my guys. No, I knew my guys. My guys wouldn't do that. But it was one of those situations where I'm like, I don't know if I should be here.
You had that epiphany of, oh crap.
Something with my luck, something would happen, and I'm there. Oh no, I'm just thinking, who's gonna freaking who's gonna believe a dude saying, "Hey, no, I'm just here for my mining rig,"
I'm doing the computers here.
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here.
Come with us, kid.
Yeah, dude. I can't have that, man. I have 2 kids. I can't be doing that shit.
For real. But it was a good idea. I mean, I like that outside the box thinking, So.
Oh no, I oh my brother, I try to think about everything. But yeah, that Bitcoin. This is another thing that I try to preach, because I have Bitcoins. I still have some, and I still have some Litecoins, and I still have some Ethereum. Not much. I've been selling on the way up, little bits and pieces here. But like I tell everyone, I'm like, stop it with the pipe dream.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna get rich off this thing. The people that are getting rich off this thing are already rich.
Yeah.
So don't buy in the highs. Yes, it might go to 50,000. It might go to 100. It might go to 150. No one knows. But it might go to 0.
Yeah.
That's what people need to understand. It's just that everyone loves the pipe dream, you know?
Yeah. There's that
People
psychology.
make
Yeah, like I told my cousin, my cousin has lost about. Thank God he doesn't listen to it. He doesn't even know that I'm doing YouTube videos. But my cousin lost minus. He's probably minus 40 or 50,000 in crypto from 2018 to 2019, and he sold on the bear market. So right now, I get at least a text every other day. You know, FML, FML. If you don't know what that means, go to Urban Dictionary and you'll see.
Yeah.
And I keep telling you, I'm like, the psychological aspect of this crypto stuff will eat you alive. Yeah. I mean, if I had the opportunity, I would buy some. Yeah, why not? You
Yeah.
know, but it's
Yeah.
money that I'm willing to lose. You know, I'm not gonna throw my freaking house at it.
I think like, we'll probably get into that a little bit more like when we talk about investment psychology. But like I think that you're getting on a good point here, which is that like don't do this stuff like the crypto or the trading or precious metals or whatever. I don't really like to tell people what to do, but I would say that it's a very good idea to have a reason other than yourself for why you're stacking or trading or mining, whatever it is you're doing, because like you'll get too caught up in your own head and you won't be able to like appropriately mitigate or manage or even assess risks and like when should you take risks and stuff. But like for me, just personally, I'm doing this for my family, for my kids, and like I'm not going to take these big huge risks where I'm gonna get down like by that much, just because of that's the reason why I'm doing it, because I always have that in the back of my head, you know what I mean? That like I'm the breadwinner for my family, and if I do take those risks, yeah, there's the potential that like it could work out, but there's all the potential that like I lose almost everything or something, so like
Exactly.
I think that's like a really good point that you said. Like, just get off it that you're gonna get rich off of this. Like, the people, like you said, the people who get rich, they're already rich, and a lot of them probably it happened by accident.
Yeah, of course it happened by accident. Come on now.
Yeah,
This year alone, not this year just started, but 2020, you could have bought Bitcoin at $4,000 on in March of 2020,
yeah,
and right now it's at 40,000.
right.
You could have done that. Yeah. But you psychologically, all right. So think about it like this. You're sitting down, it's March. It's Rona time, beer flu
Yeah,
time. People losing their jobs, people doing just the psychology of the human mind, the human psychology. And then you really think you're gonna be holding it from March all the way to now?
yeah,
No,
right,
bro.
right.
You're gonna eat that money. You need that
Yeah,
money. You're gonna eat it. So like I tell everyone, I'm like, look, man, you throw money in that shit what you're willing to lose. If you
yeah,
have an extra $4,000 and you want to buy one Bitcoin, go ahead and do it. I was buying at 10,000. I was
yeah,
buying at 16,000, but it was chump change, number one, and it was money that I was willing to lose. And I just got lucky. And of course, I've been selling all the way up. I haven't been holding everything,
yeah.
and I have a little tiny speck of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, but I'm trying to ride the wave.
Right.
But it's all psychology, bro. Everything is psychology. That's
I
what.
have a
And
I got a friend back in California who's a lawyer, and like he's doesn't have a family or anything, and he has like a couple properties, got a bunch of stocks and stuff, and he has Bitcoins and like some other crypto coins and stuff. And like I remember talking to him at the end of 2018. I think Bitcoin was like around 2000 or something at that time. I was like, "Hey, you should buy some right now," And then he was like, "Nah, no, I've already lost." Because I think he bought when it was like 6,000 or something like that before, and he's like, "I'm already way down. I don't want to risk it." And
yeah,
now I talk to him like, imagine if you had listened to me, bro. Like I never let it go. You know, I always remind him. He's like, "Oh, dude," but he could always get back at me too because I don't own any of that stuff. So he's like, "Yeah, but
Oh,
you
dude.
didn't me either." You know. Like,
All right,
but
I'll give you
that's
guys something funny before, and then we can switch the topic if you want. But
it.
my cousin, well, of course, I told you about my cousin, and mine is a 40-50, right?
Yeah.
And we sat down one day. We were a little tipsy. We're having a couple of. He lives in Jersey, so we always Zoom all the time and just talk crap because either I go up there or he comes down here. But during this whole time, we can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So we sat down one day and we're in a Zoom call, like just, not Zoom, we were FaceTiming each other and we're just talking crap. And he's like, he brought down a piece of paper and he's like, Juice, all right, you bought at 2017. And he started writing down a whole bunch of freaking numbers, right? Because I just kept telling him, what I bought and sold and, whatever. And he's like, Juice, if you did not sell any of your Bitcoin, and even giving half to your brother-in-law, giving everything, doing everything the right way at these price, and at the time it was at $36,000 when we were talking. It was just the other day. He was like, Juice, you would have $1.1 million. I go, brother, why do you do this to me? Like, get the hell out of here with that nonsense, bro. The shoulda, coulda, woulda shit. He just made me depressed. That's what it was.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is like that just illustrates that like, yeah, like that's the psychology aspect of it. If you, of course, if you can predict the future, then you make all the right moves. But that ain't how it goes. So like,
hindsight 2020, partner.
Exactly. So that's the reason too that I brought up my friend, the lawyer, because like it's like, no, he didn't want to do it. He had the money and everything, and he didn't want to do it, and then like that just shows the psychology part of it, So
that's why I like gold and silver though.
Yeah.
That is why I like gold and silver though, because I know the trajectory of these commodities, and even copper. That I don't even stack copper. But I've been looking at the chart. I've been looking at rhodium. I've been looking at palladium. I've been looking at silver. I've been looking at gold. I've been looking at oil. And I look at all these things and I'm like, you know what this doesn't have in common with Bitcoin and all the crap tech stocks and stuff like that are super overvalued, is that they hold their true value.
Yeah.
So you can, it's easy to tell yourself, all right, I could buy silver at $27 or at $30 because you could see that the trajectory of silver will never go to zero.
Yeah.
If it goes to zero, the economy will collapse. I'm talking about doomsday. I'm talking about doomsday preppers will be on the forefront of everything.
Yeah.
That's your brass and copper starts to come in play, become more than anything.
Yeah, and brass right now is expensive as crap right now because I was buying I do have some 9mm, some 223s, and I do have all of that, and it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
It's supply and demand, and that is also money. That's also money people don't understand. The thing is that gets me, and I'm sorry to rant. You guys could shut me up whenever I want, whenever you guys want.
No. Go ahead.
That's what happens when I have a little brewskis in me and I'm talking to my fellas. What gets me is that people always think, oh no, when the economy collapses and this, like, there's always this like pipe dream, right? When this economy collapses, they're gonna be going to crypto, or they're gonna be going to this digital currency, or they're gonna be going to 90% junk silver. No offense, no offense, my 90%ers. I love all of you guys. But no one, number one, if it is a shit economy, you think the internet is gonna be out here? You really think that digital stuff? You go to a hurricane. I live in Miami, Florida, bro. I know about hurricanes. We go off a month without electricity. I went a month when my son was born 3 years ago. I don't know if it was Wilma and it was a crap hurricane. It didn't even hit us. We were off we didn't have electricity for a whole month.
Yeah.
For a whole month. You really think that I'm gonna go ahead and go into my phone and do digital? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. I mean, think about it. You really gonna go ahead and buy groceries with bitcoins? When it's a hurricane, you can't even the freaking cards don't even work, the ATMs don't work, the freaking cash register doesn't work, everything is cash. And even with the 90 percenters, no offense, because I know my boy SC, full blown silver guy. Even the 90 percenters, I asked my friends, you see this dime? They don't know if it's a 90%. They're like, just put it in the freaking change drawer.
Yeah.
No one knows about that shit. You think about it and you're like, come on now, man, get the hell out of here with that nonsense. That's why, fortunately and unfortunately, you do need dollars. And everything is cyclical. Just like the dollar's going to crap out, we all know that. But they'll figure out a way to either maneuver the dollar or make it digital. Who knows? They might make it digital or whatever the hell it may be. But they'll figure out a way where people still have something in their hand to exchange it for goods and services.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I hit that rant, but yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, we just.
It is what it is.
Yeah, dude. It gets to me when I hear all this because I have friends that live and die by this stuff that are like full blown. Like, if the world goes to crap, brother, let me tell you something, man. If the world goes to crap, the first thing you'll be loading up on is food and ammo.
Yeah.
All right. So don't give me that shit.
No, I mean, I think that's a really good point. I think I brought it up in another episode because I think Fish made a similar point. But I believe it's Capital Currency. He's doing these videos where he's talking about like what in that kind of scenario or that situation, like what could be considered like money, bullets and tobacco, alcohol, medical supplies, all that kind of stuff, so like I think that's very interesting to think about. And I'm more along the lines of what you were saying, that like there's not going to be no crypto, nothing if that happens. You know what I mean? So, and as well, people who know, I mean, I've thought about it. I've thought it through. Like people who know that there's 90% silver in those like those old coins, that could become more widely known amongst people if we're in a prolonged scenario like that, right? Where people then do learn that there's
no,
like,
you're obligated to learn.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you, I mean, I understand people who stack it now because, especially if they're not preppers, because that's like just a cheap way to get a lot of ounces, and like, if you want to sell like some for whatever reason, then that's a great option to sell. And you can protect all your nice, like whatever other pieces. But
one of the things about that 90%, sorry to cut you off, but one of the things about those 90%ers that I've been trying to buy, but I've been trying to buy off of weight and not face value. I want to buy off of weight and sell out of face value. But dealers aren't going to do that.
Right.
So that right there tells me, all right, bars.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. I have a video about on my channel I made way back. It probably has the most dislikes on all my videos. I said why I don't stack junk silver. I gave like 10 reasons for it, and like
oh dude, I'll get head cracked with those videos.
One thing I like about this stacking community thing is like everybody's free to do whatever they want, and people can say whatever they want and stuff, and like do it how it fits their personal circumstances. And like especially me being out here in Korea, dude, like I can find junk silver or constitutional silver, whatever you want to call it, but like they look at it almost like as like a novelty item out here, and I would be paying for that, not for like the silver content of the coin. So like to me, I'm with you on that. Like bars are a better way for me to just add the weight. So yeah, man, like before we finish up with this part of this episode, let me just ask you this. Like, how did you decide to make a YouTube channel? Like how and why?
All right. It's kind of what I was talking to you about earlier when we first spoke. That wasn't recording. Um, so I always wanted to jump into YouTube, but
Mhm.
my wordplay is not very good looking. All right. And I'm one of those type of dudes that's very blunt and I curse a lot. So my wife was like, if you're gonna do a YouTube video, you can't be doing the crap that you're doing now. You gotta, talk proper. You gotta, use your words wisely, this and that. It is what it is. And the second part to that was that I saw a lot of YouTube because I wanted to do a trading YouTube video. I wanted to teach people how to trade options. But all the people that I saw on YouTube were people trying to sell services.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, learn this how to do options, but then we'll sell your service. And I didn't want to be that guy. Come on now, man. It's not right to charge someone what you know. You just teach them, man.
Yeah.
That like SC with his knowledge. Every time that he posts his old videos up, I listen to it. Why? Because he's knowledgeable, and I need to listen and I need to educate myself on something that I might not know. you
Yo.
know. But if SC were to tell me, no, dude, I'm gonna give you this little 30-second piece, and then you have to pay me $16.99 a month, and to get the other 15 minutes of shit that you were gonna say, that right there, that just turns me off, because you're not genuine. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it genuine, and I'm gonna focus on something that I just started myself, which was stacking. Even though I was playing the paper markets, I was like, you know what? Let me get into this YouTube game and try to teach it, not teach, but just kind of reiterate what I see in the markets and learn how to teach.
Hmm.
Because eventually, I would like to learn, full blown how to actually teach people how to trade, and for free. I don't ever think even at my 800 subscribers, 900 subscribers, I'm super grateful that I even have that many subscribers. I don't know how that even happened. But I think I'm gonna pull a fish. I think I'm gonna not monetize myself. I'm just gonna go ahead and give the people what they need to not need, but what they're willing to learn for free. And
Yeah.
and I wanted to be that fresh of. I've looked at stacking videos. I mean, I subscribed to you, Expat, before I even did a YouTube video. I
Pretty.
subscribed to, yeah, you, Florida Stacker, Silver Britches, Stacking Stormtrooper, Fish. I subscribed to a few people without doing my first YouTube video,
Hmm.
and Two is One was one of them also that I subscribed to, and then I just kept on hearing, what they, how they do their videos and just watching the game, how everything works, and I was like, you know what, I need to bring in these chart videos,
Yeah.
and it might not be popular, but the small little group that do listen can become big one day,
Yeah.
and I'll do it for free, and it's always going to be for free. So
That's all, brother.
yeah, man, I think all of us need to educate. I think all of us have that ability to educate others. I just, for me, I'm my own worst critic, so I don't like any of my videos, by the way. I don't have one video that I like. uh, so and I'm just little by little getting better at it, and that's why I listen to you, SC. I listen to Expat anytime. I love Expat's 30 minutes. You should bring more of them. I know that you don't get a lot of views of them, but like the economic standpoints of Korea and stuff like that, I love all those videos. Like
Yeah.
I can sit there with an ear pod on and just listen, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I appreciate that, number one, and I agree with you too about like how we all have something to contribute and to participate with in this whole community, and I think that is why you got so many subscribers, like 800, 900 subscribers, like in a short time, because you're contributing something that was missing, I think, from the community, and that people actually do want to hear. I mean, I have learned a ton, dude. I didn't know what those candle charts were about, or like dojis, or any of those kinds of things. And like, I mean, I still learn a lot from your videos, and you know, I mean, honestly, dude, I didn't even really know that like chart reading was a thing, before. I just know like up and down, basically. So, like,
Everyone is in the same boat.
yeah, yeah, dude. So like, and then we were talking before we started recording and stuff, and like I totally agree with you that there's like, because when I first started stacking just like a few years ago, I also like I had just got to the point in my life where I had some extra money, and I just knew that if I put it in the bank, it's gonna get annihilated, So like I can't let that happen because I have a family and stuff. So I need to figure out how to protect my money and invest it, right? So, and I went onto YouTube as well, like started to look for some resources, and I saw the same thing you were talking about there, like we were discussing beforehand. Like these people are like, yeah, like there's this, you can invest your money like this, and then if you want to hear the rest of what I have to say, you can sign up for this service or whatever. It's like, no, dude, I'm trying to save my money, bro. I'm not trying to pay you.
Exactly, dude.
So, like,
Part of
I
their
think
investment
people
plan,
like
though.
that about your channel, because like it's as you mentioned, like you had to read a lot of books and spend years and like go through the ups and downs of all this stuff to get to the point of where you have this knowledge and you're giving it away for free. I think people like, on some level, they might not know all the details, but they can recognize that it's not easy to learn all of that, and like they appreciate that, and that's why people are into your videos, And I definitely will come out with more of those like uh 30-minute long videos where we dive into a topic, because I'm actually surprised on some levels where like people don't know about certain things. I did one on the biggest free trade agreement, the RCEP, and like nobody in America heard
No
about
one
it.
knew about that. Even SC had a video out for Velocity of Money.
Yeah.
That was the first video on YouTube. I believe in the velocity of money.
Yeah.
Like the whole milkshake theory and all of this other crap. You need velocity. If you want money printing, you need velocity. And when I saw SC's video, I'm like, heck yeah, bro. Finally, someone coming out with an educational video that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
You know, and that, I think that's what we're all here for, man. I think it's just to learn from one another.
Totally. Yeah, man. So, Silver Conundrum, do you have any other points you want to say on this part of this video?
Well, I've been holding back, and there is one thing I want to say.
Mm.
So, Jude, do you know how I actually got to meet you in the world of YouTube and outside of it? You know how I actually found you?
How?
Expat.
Really?
He and I was on a talk one day, and he's like, "Hey man, have you ever seen this new guy?" He's just like, he describes himself as some random guy with a YouTube channel talking to himself. Like, I feel that exact same way. Who is this guy? So I went over, checked your channel out, and I might have been probably about your 40th or 50th subscriber. And Expat was definitely way earlier than me, because it's just like literally you've only been out for a little bit. And he's like, you need to go check him out. And sure enough, I've checked you out, and man, we've been hitting it off ever since. In YouTube, out of YouTube, on the phone.
Dude, on the phone, the first time we spoke was like an hour.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, dude. That's
I've known you all my life. Like, I've never met a stranger. And like I was telling it, like you and I had that talk one day, I was like, man, you know what would be really cool and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, we just went off from there. But the reason why I actually found you and how was Expat.
wow, I did not know that, man. That's truly I'm blessed. Because I did my first YouTube video July 28th. That was my first YouTube video. So all the subscribers, all the new people that I've met along the way, it's crazy that it's only been 6 months. But man, I've met so many cool people that I could call brothers, just like you two, man. You two are my brothers right now. So I'm really, really grateful about that, man. Thank you.
Feel exactly the same, man. Exactly the same. So, with that, it's been very interesting discussion, and we have really enjoyed, getting to know you and know your backstory and everything. There's some funny stuff in there, some, stories and stuff, but It's really enlightening and interesting. And thank you very much for the time. And we're going to go ahead and end this part of the video. And make sure you guys tune in next week for the investment psychology part of the discussion. And then we'll have another one a week after that, free for all topics. So thanks a lot, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Or